I grew up thinking every house in our little Ohio suburb had a second family living in the basement. Sounds crazy now, but back then it was just how things were, like the buzz of cicadas in July or the flicker of our old TV. I'm Ricky, and this is the story of how I learned the truth about the folks downstairs. It's the kind of thing that sticks with you like a shadow you can't shake. Every night after Mom cleared the meatloaf or mac and cheese, Dad would scrape the leftovers onto a plate, wrap it in foil, and head for the basement. I'd lie in bed, eyes wide, listening to the stairs groan under his weight. If I held my breath, I could just make out his low voice talking to someone or something down there. Come morning, he'd shuffle downstairs again before heading to his job at the hardware store, then pat my head and muss my hair as he grabbed his keys. At Christmas, he'd pull on a cheap Santa suit, lug a bag of gifts down those creaky steps, and come back looking like he'd seen a ghost. To me, that was normal. I figured every kid's dad had another family tucked away under the house. I was 5 when I got the guts to ask. Mom was a live wire, always moving, scrubbing the counter, flipping pancakes, or puffing on a Marlboro, its tip glowing like a tiny ember in our dim kitchen. Mom, I said, tugging at her apron, why can't I play with the kids in the basement? She stopped dead. No pacing, no smoking, just this awful stillness, like the air itself was holding its breath. Her eyes, red-rimmed and sharp, bored into me. We don't talk about 'em, Ricky, she snapped, voice like a taut wire. She sucked hard on her cigarette, blowing smoke out the screen door. Then she crouched down so close I could smell the nicotine on her breath. You don't need to play with those kids, they need your daddy. She went quiet, her face a mask of something I couldn't read. And your daddy, he needs them. That night I heard her screaming at Dad through their bedroom wall. Words like "he knows" and "what if he tells" cut through the dark. I curled up tight, heart racing. They hadn't known I knew, and now they were scared of me spilling their secret at school or to the neighbors. After that, everything changed. Dad waited till I was asleep to take the food downstairs. His morning visits stopped cold. Mom got worse. She'd jerk away when Dad brushed past her like his touch burned. She'd haunt the other side of the room, eyes darting like a trapped animal. I was just a kid, but I felt it in my bones. I'd broken something. I'd cracked our family open. Mom's words lit a fire, though. She'd said kids. Kids like me may be stuck down there in the dark. I had to know who they were, why they were hidden. It was like a puzzle I couldn't leave alone, the kind that keeps you up at night. The basement door, this heavy oak thing with chipped paint, wasn't just a door anymore. It was a wall between me and the truth. Dad slapped a deadbolt on it after that night, but that only made me more desperate. Finding out a second family wasn't normal, that was bad. Not knowing who they were or what kept them down there, that was worse. By 7, I was done waiting. I needed a chance when Dad was at work, Mom was out or asleep, and I was home from school. One fall afternoon, I pedaled home from the bus stop and saw the garage empty. Mom was passed out on the couch, her usual frenzy burned out. My sneakers hit the floor and I crept to the basement door, and my socks' heart thumping like a drum. I raised my fist and knocked real soft, scared to wake Mom. That knock wasn't just a sound, it was me stepping into the dark, facing the thing that had haunted me my whole life. A faint knock came back quick, like someone was waiting on the other side. I froze, breath catching in my throat. My mouth felt like I'd swallowed dust, but I leaned in close. Hey, I whispered, voice barely there. Hey. A girl's voice, small and shy, like she was testing the air. I'm Ricky. Who are you? A beat. Lila, my brother's Isaac, but he don't talk much. He's real little. Mommy says he'll talk when he's ready. There's 3 of you down there. Yeah, she said, simple as that, like it was no big deal. Daddy visits sometimes, so I guess that makes 4. My head spun. Daddy. My dad questions piled up, but I heard Mom stir her cough echoing down the hall. I bolted to my room, grabbing a comic book to look busy while my mind raced. Lila, Isaac, a mom. If Dad was their dad, what was I, and why were they locked away like some dirty secret? Those questions dug in deep like roots I couldn't yank out. For 2 years, I snuck to that door whenever I could. Those stolen moments with Lila whispering through the wood became my world. She was my best friend, hell, my only friend. Kids at school steered clear of me like I carried some kind of curse. But Lila got me. I'd tell her about riding my bike till the streetlights came on, about Little League games and schoolyard fights. She'd talk about the basement, its damp smell, the way Isaac'd giggle at shadows. She'd been down there her whole life, maybe born in that cold, musty dark. She didn't know what it was like to run through a sprinkler or eat cotton candy at the county fair, and that killed me. The more we talked, the uglier it got. Lila dreamed of things I griped about: homework, washing dishes, mowing the lawn. She'd never seen a sunset, never felt grass under her feet. The unfairness of it choked me. Why was I up here living a life she'd never touch? Guilt settled in my gut, heavy as a stone. By 9, I couldn't take it. Her voice, her stories, they were too much. So I quit going to the door. No more knocks, no more whispers. I shoved Lila into a corner of my mind and locked her there like she was locked down below. It was easier to act like she wasn't real. But Lila wouldn't stay gone. One day, sitting at the kitchen table with my science homework, I heard a soft knock from the basement. My blood turned to ice. It was her. I grabbed my bike and tore out of there, not coming back till Mom called me for dinner. That night, Dad's voice roared through the floorboards. "Stop it, Lila. I take care of you, your brother, your mom, but you gotta stay quiet." She didn't listen. The knocks got louder, harder, turning into slams that rattled the door. Mom started vacuuming at all hours, the drone swallowing the noise. She wouldn't look at Dad, wouldn't look at me. I could almost see the bruises on Lila's shoulder, but she kept on relentless. I couldn't sleep. I was 10 now, old enough to roam farther. I'd bike to my one school buddy's house, but his folks didn't want me around. Things got heated and we fought. I socked him in the stomach and he hit back with something worse than a fist. "My mom says you're a bastard, Ricky, says your mom's a whore." I rode home, his words burning in my ears. I dug out my old dictionary, found the meanings, and felt sick. That night I faced Mom. Am I a bastard? She stopped just like before, the life draining from her face. She walked out, leaving me in the quiet, then came back with a yellowed newspaper clipping clutched to her chest. Her voice broke as she told me the truth. Before me, before Mom, Dad had another family, Lila, Isaac, and their mom. He cheated with my mom, and it broke Lila's mom, who was already hanging by a thread. She snapped, killed her kids, then herself, right there in our basement. Dad found him when he got home from work. The guilt ate him alive, ate Mom too. Years later, they came back ghosts, just like they were living in the basement. Dad couldn't let him go, so he fed him, gave him gifts, tried to make it right, keeping him hidden so no one would know. "Why do they stay down there?" I asked, voice shaken. Mom's eyes went dark. "You'll see, honey." That night, Dad unlocked the door. The air turned heavy like a storm was coming. Lila stepped out and I flinched. Her face was pale pretty, but a black hole gaped where her left eye should have been. Isaac waddled behind his jaw, a wet, mangled mess. My heart screamed to run, but I stayed, taking Lila's cold hand. We played Legos, board games, stupid kid stuff. I laughed with them even as my skin crawled. Their mom stayed back, a shadow in the dark. Later, I'd meet her a broken woman, not the monster I'd pictured, crushed by what she'd done. After that, the door stayed unlocked. Lila, Isaac, and their mom weren't trapped anymore. They weren't Dad's second family, they were ours. We'd grill burgers on the 4th, carve pumpkins at Halloween, string lights at Christmas. It wasn't normal, not by a long shot, but it was us. I'm grown now, living in my own place, far from that creaky house. I'm thankful every day for the life I got, one Lila never had. Our family's messed up, full of ghosts and guilt, but it's mine. I go back for Thanksgiving, birthdays, or just cause, and every time I knock on the front door, Lila opens it, her one-eyed smile glowing in the porch light. I love 'em, every last one, and I always will.